Shalom, shalom. Most High Christ bless everybody. All right, Israel. All praises. All right. Give it a few minutes. Give some Israelites an opportunity to jump in.
Invalid option. Conference recording started.
All right. So let's open up in Nehemiah, the 13th chapter. So we're about to read how the Father, the Most High, had commanded Israel to separate from the strangers. Strangers meaning the other nations. Okay, so Nehemiah chapter 13 and 1. You want to read, Jay? I mean,
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 1. On that day they read in the book of Moses in the audience of the people, and therein was found written that the Ammonite and the Moabite should not come into the congregation of God forever.
right. So that cuts them. Chinese, Japanese, Ammonite, Moabite. On that day they read in the book of the law of Moses. In the audience, meaning in the ears of all the people of Israel. Okay, and therein was found written that the Ammonite and the Moabite should not come into what? The congregation of the Father forever. So this doesn't change. This doesn't change. From generation to generation to generation. What's up, brothers? Shalom. The other nations, so when you seeing them assembling and everybody mixed together, that's not the God of the Bible. That's confusion. And although a lot of them be nice, or shit, they ain't even nice, to be honest. We think that nice is not doing nothing to us, just walking past us. They might have on dress shoes, a suit, a dress, or whatsoever. So if they can't come into the congregation forever, what else you think can't happen forever? That means you would never be able to deal with them forever. All right? You'd never be able to deal with them. So, race mixing, not supposed to do that with no other nation. Only the Israelites. And that was particular to your tribe. It was never meant for Israel to be all over the place and then, seek asylum under the umbrella of emotions. That's not going to save you. What's up, Ak Shalom? Being emotional, that's not going to save you. The only thing that's going to save the children of Israel is the keeping of these laws. And we're going to show you why laws anyway. But before we get that, let's go to 1 Ezra 8. What's up, brother? Shalom, Ricky. 1 Ezra chapter 8. And so this is the priest Ezra. And start at verse 65.
The book of 1 Ezra, chapter 8, and verse 65. Moreover, they that were come out of the captivity offered sacrifice unto the Lord God of Israel, even 12 bullocks for all Israel, fourscore and 16 rams, 60 and 12 lambs, goats for a peace offering, 12, all of them a sacrifice to the Lord.
Go ahead.
And they delivered the king's commandments unto the king's stewards, and to the governors of the
Syria.
Seleucia and Phoenice, and they honored the people in the temple of God. Now when these things were done, the rulers came unto me and said, the nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites, have not put away from them the strange people of the land.
Stop. So when we started off in the 65th verse, it says, moreover, they that were come out of the captivity, they offered sacrifice. All right? And they was offering sacrifice because of the captivity that they were returning out of. Okay? Babylonian captivity. Because the Persians had took them down and allowed them to come back into the land and then help them to rebuild the temple. So now, being back in the graces, what's up, Ak Shalom? Being in the graces of the Most High, now they want to offer 12 bullocks for all Israel, one for every tribe. It says 80 and 6 rams. So now they trying to make this atonement, not like the Day of Atonement, but they trying to get back into order, because whenever the Israelites, whenever we got out of order, everything about us was stopped. The sacrifice was stopped. The keeping of the commandments was stopped. The priesthood would be totally drawn away. You understand? Into lust. You know, power. Man, power brings. If you're not careful, you could fall into, you know, like the scriptures say, the condemnation of the devil with power. You understand? Power is it's a destructive thing. Authority is. That's why Christ had taught us not to exercise authority over the people. But we're all brothers. You know, he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. So Yahushua was teaching Israel to humble down, and not because Satan will come through that. And the government of Israel was always governed by the Levitical priesthood, and so the nations always went to them, you understand, to lead the rest of the people. So but them returning, and they offered these sacrifices. So now, when you get back to verse 68, now these things were done, the rulers came unto me and said, why did they come to Ezra? Because we know that Ezra was a man after, you know, the mind of God, the Most High. The way that he dealt with Urias, he stayed in prayer. He always wanted to do the right thing. He always wanted to study the mind of people and wonder, you know, would the Father help them, and could they be saved? You know, that's the Shalom. That's how we are now. We wonder, like, could our people be saved? And he actually was consumed in spirit. You know, he was consumed in spirit over the people. And in a sense, that's how we should be. But we got to have some type of self-control. If you're going to consume yourself with this, you know, make sure that you stay in the spirit of the Father, and that you allow the help that the Father give to you, you understand, to help you with these things. It's okay, like a family, like let's say Mattathias and his family, you know, we call it the Maccabees family, the Maccabees. right? That consists of him, Jonathan, and the rest of his brothers. You understand? His father, Mattathias, they were all a help, and they had different abilities to do certain things. So, even in sanctuaries and congregations, or even among sisters, among sisters, you got to be able to acknowledge, this sister's her strength without being envious or covetous. You understand? Because that's going to bring forth resentment, dislike, and hate. You can't be like that. Because anything that a brother or sister possess, who gave them that, that spirit to do that? The Most High gave it to them. Okay? The Most High gave it to them. So when you bark against a brother or sister, then you bark against the Most High. So you can't do that. So they came to Ezra. So we in 1 Ezra chapter 8 and 68. So they came to Ezra because Ezra was a man of authority, and he was, and they knew what type of person that he was. This is how we got to be. When you read 1 Corinthians 4 and 1, it says, let a man so account of us as what the ministers of Christ, and faithful stewards, and stewards holding the mysteries of God faithfully. So when somebody see you, this is the only thing that they supposed to, refer you by. Even in your mistakes, because we all gonna make mistakes. We all gonna get something wrong at one point or another on time. But this is what we got to be known of. And that's how Ezra was known. You know what I'm saying? He had loved the people. And to the point to where the Lord had told him that he fall far short, that he can love the people more than God. He couldn't love the people. He had so much love that he was expressing, and so much interest that the Lord had told him that it's going to be all right. They're going to be good. Slow down. That I oftentimes draw nigh to you, but never to the wicked. You understand? So they knew Ezra was righteous. So the rulers, they came to him. Now, rulers are people that are authority. So why ain't they just ruling then? Because when it all boiled down, they knew the man of truth. And that's the part that I'm trying to express to you brothers and sisters. It doesn't matter. Regardless of people, regardless of their authority, regardless of their stature, their status, their name, their position, what are we supposed to be? We got to be men of truth. Like it says in Exodus 18 it is. I'm going to quote it. I get it. Don't go nowhere. Right. Exodus 18:21. You can just take it in your notes. Able men such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetous, and place over them. See, that's every brother and sister. We can go through this together. You understand? We can learn together. We can suffer together. We can prosper together. We can grow together. Okay? But the end result, we have to be able to do what? Show that we fear God and able to do the things that's written in the scriptures. Because a lot of people, they're not able to do that. You get people that they talk, but they're not diligent enough to be faithful to deny the flesh. It's like they read that precept, and that precept ain't really talking to me. They want to cherry pick certain things. So as we read, and it's going to tell you that the Lord had told Israel to put away the strange people, that's exactly what he means. He didn't stutter. He didn't stutter. Da, 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 da. You understand? He didn't stutter. God doesn't stutter, man. He know what he's saying, because he know what he said when he said it. So we have got to be the type of brother and sister that's able. Are y'all able? Just like what did Yahweh say? To Zebedee's sons. What did he say? Let's get it. I think it is Mark. Mark 10. Okay, check this out. Mark 10 and 35. Read that.
The book of Mark, chapter 10, and verse 35. And James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came unto him, saying, Master, we would that thou shouldest do for us whatsoever we shall desire. And he said unto them, What would ye that I should do for you? And they said unto him, Grant unto us that we may sit, one on thy right hand and the other on thy left hand, and thy glory.
Right, so they like, Lord, allow me in the glory. Because Yahushua gonna be renowned. Please don't think that, oh, that's not possible. Hey man, it's very possible. That's gonna happen. I give you a carnal example. This man is the man that's in authority. He's probably one of the most wickedest of all. And he's known all over the world in other countries. He's known everywhere. So why you think that Yahushua's glory ain't gonna extend from kingdom to kingdom, from everlasting to everlasting? You understand? From shining sea to shining sea. It's gonna be everywhere, man. And by it being everywhere, look at what these brothers is asking, to grant me that we could sit. We brothers, let us sit. Let us be right there on the left and on the right. Do you know how many people there's going to be in the world? Said that the Lord told Abraham that his seed going to inherit the land, and that we're going to outnumber the sands on the seashore and the stars in the heavens. And these guys, they want to go through all of that and be right there next to the Savior. Man, so that's some, that's a heck of a ass right there. Nobody can guess who could be there right there. Who's putting that type of output to even be in a position to be considered? The scripture said about Moses that he was the most meekest man on the face of the earth. But Yahushua said, yet one that is in the kingdom of heaven is greater than him. So you understand, so what are we doing? We have got to sharpen up. We got to get on the ball. Okay, so now Mark chapter 10 and 37, they said unto him, Grant unto us that we may sit, one on thy right hand and the other on thy left hand, in thy glory. Go ahead.
Verse 38, But Yahushua said unto them, Ye know not what you ask.
You know not what you ask. That's a long list. That's a long line. That's a lot of brothers. There are people that we can think of and be like, well, maybe he would be there. This brother that we talking about, Ezra, committed, die-hard priest. You understand? Wasn't short-stopping at all. Why not him? What about Simon, another high priest? Yeah, Israel had rest in his days. He destroyed everything and everybody. He sacrificed himself. And then on top of that, did the work. What about Joshua? Joshua was totally committed unto the Father, to the Most High. He got his garments dirty, tending unto the people. The list goes on and on and on, man. So these are just peas in a pod. One pod of many millions of pods. Asking, they say, you don't know what you asking for, man. Go ahead.
Can you drink of the cup that I drink of?
Can you drink of the cup? So Israel, that's what you need to ask yourself. You want to be saved, and you even want to be in the glory of the Father, in the glory of Christ. Can you drink of that cup? You know what that cup is? You can deny yourself. You can deny yourself of the provisions that the flesh crave. Can you do that? Can you say no? Or is there strings attached? I'm gonna get myself together if you give me, like if you're a woman, if you give me the man that you want. If the Lord give you the man that you want, then you're gonna act right. Or if you're a man, the Lord got to give you a woman in order for you to be committed. The Lord's got to give you money in order to prove us, to see if we're worthy. The first thing the Lord do is humble you. Before honor come humility. The Lord's going to humble you. And he's always doing it to see if you're going to keep the commandments or no. So all the things that you go through, you're going through by the hand of the Father to see what's your stress level, what's your strength, what's your faith like. The fire is going to prove you. That's right, the fire, the life, the baptism of fire. You got water baptism. We do that. You got the baptism of fire. Yahweh shall do that. And you got the baptism of the word. And the Holy Ghost does that. You understand? And all three of those, Israel, you must go through. And they're going to prove what manner of person you are. All right? Read that part again for me.
Verse 38. But Yahweh shall say unto them, ye know not what ye ask. Can ye drink of the cup that I drink of, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with?
Right. Oh, I want to, 1 Corinthians 3. Let's deal with that fire. First Corinthians chapter 3. And verse 11. Start there.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 11.
Right.
For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid.
Right. Which is
Christ.
right. For listen. Yeah, baptism of the word. That means to be taught the Bible. That means to be taught the Bible. See, some people, they only taught the Bible, but the other two things they don't go through. The scriptures say, he that believeth and is baptized shall be saved. So you gotta go through water baptism and the baptism of fire. You gotta go through that. That's gonna try every person. That's gonna try every person. And that's what we're kind of going off into right now. So now, pay attention. So it says, for other foundation can no man lay. which is laid. And that foundation, it says, which is Yahushua. It says Jesus, but we know that the Lord's name in the Hebrew, translated into the Hebrew, it says Yahushua. Okay, so now, when it says foundation, foundation is what you build upon. Okay, foundation is what you build upon. You use that as a starting point. Pay attention. You use Christ the Messiah as a starting point. Okay? So now, once you build upon that starting point, the width and the length and the breadth and all of that, the thickness of all of this is already laid down because it starts with Christ. It doesn't start with nobody else. It doesn't even start with you. But it is your life. So now you start laying bricks. Boom, 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 boom. Now you have to go into the law and the prophets, which is the word of the Father, and you have to, within those things, you have to pick and choose. You got to prove yourself to say, well, this is what's good for me. Now, Christ wasn't a vegetarian, but you have some people that doesn't eat meat. So you're going to lay the foundation of Christ, you're building upon that, but you might leave out meats. You still building in Yahushua. Christ, he was called a builder. He drank wine. You might not drink wine. You still building in Yahushua, because within that perimeter, which in that perimeter of the law and the prophets, you pulling those things, you say, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. When something goes against that, you're like, no, I can't do that. Why? Because the foundation doesn't accept it. You can't put that on this foundation, which is Christ. Everybody understand that? No? Yes? You understand it? Okay. Verse 12 will help us out. First Corinthians 3 and 12. You got to use both the scriptures.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 12. Now, if any man build upon this foundation.
Stop. Jump down to the last three.
Wood, hay, stove.
Stop. Is that good to build upon a solid foundation? The foundation will not accept it. Now that we understand, you can't build. Why would you build a straw house, brother? It's ridiculous to build a hay. That's what hay is, straw. Why build a foundation made out of? The beast's gonna come along and eat it. You understand? They'll be eating it. The wind will blow through it. The wind will blow it down. The water will make it mush. It'll fall down. So the foundation doesn't accept it. So now, what about, instead of it being actual hay, what about is something else that's very weakly about you? Some form of disobedience. What about smoking? The foundation doesn't accept you defiling your temple. Now do you understand what these lesser elements are in comparison to real life things? What about being a drunken? You rise up early to drink all day. You see people like that. They get up early in the morning and they got beer. And to them, that's normal. That's like, hey, ain't got nothing to do. This is a cold one. Like, wait a second, man. They're not happy until they numb themselves. Now, do you understand? All right. So now, let's start this thing from the beginning. Verse 12.
1 Corinthians 3 and 12. Now, if any man build upon this foundation, gold.
Right, if you build upon Christ, gold. You know what gold is? Gold, it looks good or bad?
Good.
It looks good. So you on Christ and you build it, that means your actions are fire, man. You look like a golden person. Do you understand what I'm saying? You look like a golden bar. You look good. Your behavior is good. Your conversation is good. When you're proven, When someone examines you, because people will examine you. I want y'all to know that. People will examine each and every last one of you. From time to time. And then it'll go from time to time to all the time. Until they are fully persuaded that you are somebody that's after the Spirit of the Most High Christ. Then you ain't no doubt about it. You understand, there's no doubt about it that this person right here is a person that they on Christ. They in Christ. That's gold right there. You understand? That's gold. That's what we're shooting for. In order to get to that point, though, you got to crucify the affections. Who taught you that? To crucify the affections? The foundation. Because the foundation is what you're building upon. And it's accepting everything that you're trying to put upon it. And when you try to put something that's not there, it rejects it. It tosses it away. So get that out of here. And then it commands you and it instructs you on what you should do and what you shouldn't do. You understand? And then you come back correctly. You say, oh, and then he congratulates. That's right. That's what you're supposed to do. That's good. Right? That's good. You go to the law to find out. That's acceptable. That's reasonable. But then, in order for you to understand what's reasonable, it's going to have to dawn on you to where you had to actually sacrifice something that you was really interested in. And you had to give it all the way up. Not just a little bit. Nope. All the way up. He's going to break you all the way down. But we ain't got to that part yet. We're going to get there. So now if any man build upon this foundation, gold, go ahead.
Silver.
Silver is the next best thing to gold. Let's just say that because it's written right here. Silver, okay, go ahead.
Precious stones. Right,
precious stones. You know, this person is trying, but, you know, sometimes we tend to linger. You know, let's just put that on there. Or, you know, I hate to say that anybody is peeking out. You know what I mean by peeking out? You at your top. And you still, you know, it's not at a high standard. But you at the top. You doing the best you can. I like to say that you can do better. Because better is available. And golden is what's better than what's silver. Maybe you're silver because it's something that you have not put away yet. It could be anger. Is it lying? You know, lying. You know what's another form of lying? Not forthcoming. Withholding certain details and facts. Knowing that specifics, you will ask for specifics. When dealing with me, I'm going to let you know when dealing with me, I'm going to always try and be smarter than you. Not have the spirit of emulations to where I want to be better than you. But when I mean in regard of smarter than you, I'm going to try and deal like the Most High would want me to deal. I'm going to ask you a specific question to the point to where you have no choice but to tell me the truth or flat out lie. You won't have no way around it. I will ask you a direct question. So you're going to have to answer that thing. And not bringing it forth is a form of dishonesty, hiding, and will fall up on the lying. And you can end up being a piece of silver. Even though you have some good things, a lot of good things. Sometimes old habits do what? They die hard. And even in the truth, you could grow and still have some of those old habits because they ain't been revealed yet, they ain't been exposed yet, ain't nobody corrected them yet. But that's what this is for. This proving, this baptism of fire, it's going to bring it out so that you can get corrected. So that the people that you deal with can know what to help you with. Just like the doctor. The doctor's going to touch you here and push on there and ask you, tell me where it hurts. A lot of times when they're going to check your belly, they do children like that. They test, test your stomach or something for something, and they start pushing. They want to know if little man or the little children, the little girls have hernias. So they begin to push in their belly. Because being so small, sometimes they begin to pick up things that make them strain. And you can have a hernia in your stomach. So they begin, I can remember that, they begin to push on that belly. So does this hurt? Does that hurt? Like, no. So sometimes, the Most High will allow us to, prick you. Prick the heart. And it's going to bring out certain things. Okay, so now, we're in Mark chapter 3 and verse 12. Precious stones, wood, hay, stubble. I would like to say none of those are any good. I'm a landlord now. I don't own any wooden houses to where the house, instead of it calling wood, we call it what? Frame. A frame house. They say don't buy no frame house. Because if it burn, that's it. And quite often houses will, catch a fire, kitchen fire, whatever, right? But a brick house, they say you can always rebuild. You got brick there. That will go into the precious stone. Okay, but our point is coming. Verse 13. Tell us where you're at.
1 Corinthians 3 and 13.
Right.
Every man's work shall be made manifest.
You see that? Whatever you're doing, it's going to come out. Whatever you're doing, it's going to come out. Please don't think that you can sin, you can do things, and nobody knows. Nobody's going to find out. Nobody's going to see it. Because, we'll hide sin so much and for so long, we'll be like, I don't want anybody to do what? Say anything to me. Like, this is my business. This is me. You can't be like that. In Israelite congregations, the Lord said, be diligent to know the state of the flock. What is the state? Where's the state of the flock? Is the people. Where's their state at? In their minds. In their minds. So I'm going to have conversations with you. I'm going to see what you like, what you don't like. I'm going to see what sins you in and why you in that sin. What can you do to come up out of that sin? And then instruct you using the scriptures to help you to be a better person so that you can start seeing sin how? That it's exceeding sinful. That's something really wrong with it. And the way that you see it and the way that the Father see it is totally two different ways right there. I mean, he's really tripping over it. When you not tripping at all, you wonder like, what's wrong with my blessings? But you don't know he's tripping because you haven't been able to tie the judgments of not having things with God because you used to not having things. When you only used to having things because you used to that sin. You see? Sin has deceived you. And the Lord is like, okay. For some, whatever his reason is, he's like, okay, now I'm finna make an attempt to bring you up out that sin. So coming up out of the sin, it takes exposure. Right? Right, it takes exposure. You have to expose that sin. All right? So now, Every man's work shall be made manifest. Go ahead.
For the day shall declare it,
For the day shall declare. What day you think that is? The day of temptation, the hour of temptation. All right? It's going to declare if it's gold, silver, precious stone, wood, hay, or stubble. Go ahead.
because it shall be revealed by fire.
It shall be what? Revealed by fire. Right. Fire gonna come. What is the fire? The temptation, the trial, the spirit that comes from the Father that's gonna put you in a situation. It's gonna put you in a situation, and it's gonna tell what type of sister you are. What type of brother are you? Are you gonna take that person's money? You gonna lay down with that man? You gonna lay down with that woman? You gonna lie? You gonna steal? You gonna covet? You gonna be guilty with an explanation. If you do any of those things, hey man, you are stubborn. You like the little, you like the little things that are cut off after something has been hewed down. And just little stub, you've been cut down. Because we have got to learn that a man or woman's life does not consist of the abundance of things that they possess. So when you start understanding that, then you're going to start understanding your true worth and your value. And that thing is going to start increasing because your worth and value has got to be according to the commandments, meaning I'm going to have these laws, statutes, and commandments on my mind. And I got some get right. And therefore, I'm not looking like I'm special needs. You not know that a lot of you Israelites, you look like you're special needs. Look like you just possessed with legions of spirits. You look like, and you act like that you should be in some type of loony bin. And most of the time, you know why? And you probably should. The reason is it's because you're probably intoxicated with all the crack that's out here, whether it's green crack, white crack, brown crack, crack, liquid crack. You intoxicated, man. Or cigarettes, and fighting the cause. And then you can tell as soon as somebody says something to you to correct you, now you want to cuss and fuss and fight. When you're not keeping any laws, no commandments at all. Stubborn. And a lot of Israelites have that lunatic spirit, man, to where you know they can't be. You can't say anything to them. They can't. You can't correct them. So we're 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and 13. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 3 and 13, last precept. And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is.
So the fire, meaning the fiery trial, is actually gonna reveal and tell you what type of person are you. That's right. If you're a golden person, what does fire do to gold? What does fire do to gold? Literally, it does do something. What is it? Okay. It melts it. But before it gets to a breaking point, it'll darken it up. It'll smoke it up, right? Is it gone? It's not gone. Because you can do what with it? Clean it. You can clean it. You understand? You can clean it. That's why when there's a brother or a sister and you are a golden person and you going through hell and high water and you going through the fire and you going through this, that, and the third, all you need is a little cleaning. Somebody to come along and wash you with that word, man. Tell you what's right. Tell you what's good. And next thing you know, your mind is instructed again, and you back off to shine. Because you go. Correction don't break you. If you have done iniquity, your thing is, I want to do it no more. I actually didn't understand. I didn't know that, but you know what? All praises to the Most High. You know, you feel sorry for your sin. You feel ashamed for your sin. That's the best thing. The Lord is looking for a broken and contrite heart. He said he don't despise that. You back off to shine. Same thing with what? The silver. Even a precious stone. Like some type of ruby or diamond or something like that. Sapphire. It might smoke up a little bit. But that's all. You're going to be able to wash it back off. Buff it back out. Emeralds. Bam. Clean it. It's back shining. That's the type of people that you want to be. Gold, silver, precious stone. So you're not going to let the fire, the stuff that you go through, you're not going to let that, consume you. All right? So now, 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 14.
If any man's work abide, which he all built.
You see that? If any man's work abide, that means, that's why I didn't take it all the way down to the melting thing. No, your work stood still. The fire is not meant to consume you. The fire is not meant to destroy you. The fire is meant to prick you. The fire is meant to get in there and see how you're going to react to it. It's not trying to break you down. The Lord is not trying to break you down. The Most High is not trying to break you down with the things that he take you through. You understand? With that, nor with the correction. He's not trying to break you down with the correction. That's why when we exhort one another, we got to exhort one another to keep the faith, man. Not exhort one another. We're going to send you away bent, broken, offended, hurt, crushed. You know what I'm saying? I can't do this. It is not for me. You can't do that. You send a person away there. Now they think that it's not for me. It's unachievable. I just can't get that then. No, it's our job to teach somebody how to get it. It's our job to teach somebody how to get it. Let them know, yeah, it is accomplishable. It is achievable. Right? Okay? So now, what was that? Verse 14? No. Is that where you was? If any man's work abide, that means stay. Right? So you keeping the commandments, you go through something, and you didn't fall away. You keeping the commandments, you go through something, you didn't fall away. You didn't sin. That's what it is. Oh, it's hard. Meaning, I ain't saying it's hard to keep the commandments, but, the tests that you're going through, just like sometimes somebody might be provoking you to wrath, but you don't bring forth wrath. It makes you sad to the point where you might weep. And you're fighting off, rendering evil for evil, railing on them, retaliating, saying hurtful things to get them to back down. You're fighting that off. If you hold on, that's the good thing. That's the best thing. But you can't let, the scriptures say put bars on your mouth. You can't let nothing slip by. Don't let it slip. That's the test. That's the thing that you got to pass. Let them curse. Let them clown. Let them act a damn fool. Let them disrespect you. Let them do whatever they're going to do. As long as they don't put their hands on you. You should be trying to retreat from that situation because you're dealing with the devil. And you know what? Demons, blood is nothing in their sight. They don't even know they possess. They actually will kill. They actually will take a life. That's why keep in mind the Father and just retreat. Just go. You understand? But the thing that you know that you're supposed to do, you got to stay true to it, man. Because every day ain't going to be like that day right there. Every day ain't like what? Every day ain't like that day right there. It's that day. See, you've been listening to these classes and you've been fellowshipping and you've been rehearsing and you've been exercising and you've been training for that day. That's game day. That's showtime. And that day, on that day, in that moment, on that time, you must shine. You got to be gold, man. Woman, you got to be gold. You got to show up and show out. You understand? You got to show up and show out. And you got to prove and show that I got this. I know how to deal with somebody like you. You don't have to outwardly say, I know how to deal with somebody like you. You just got to know, I know how to deal with a situation like this. Okay. I'm going to use a soft answer. I'm going to turn this wrath away. At least I'm going to try, and then I got to go. Okay. You know what? It's not like that. Didn't mean no harm, but hey, I got somewhere to be. So I hope you finish the rest of your evening, you know, and things turn out a little bit better. See you later. That's what I'm going to do to you. And while I'm gone, I ain't going to like none of that, but I'm going to be like, all praises, you know. I just didn't give in to it. That's the best thing. I won on that. And we're going to make a bigger impression on that person than possibly anybody has ever made to them, because they used to somebody rendering evil for evil to them. So 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and 14, if any man's work abide which he built thereupon, he shall do what?
Receive a reward.
He shall receive a reward. That's what we're looking for, Israel. You know what that reward is? Because we're all trees. We're growing. Bam! You just sprouted a piece of fruit. You just sprouted a piece of fruit. Now, the bells should be going off in your mind, because you have just figured and taught yourself, because you did the work, you taught yourself. We instruct you, but you also can teach yourself. You have taught yourself how to do it, because you were face to face with this thing, and now you're applying it. And you're applying it. You're like, wait a minute, man. This is the steps that I took. This is the steps that I took. And you remembering that. Let me go down this path and let me do it like this, because this is the correct way. You're going to receive a reward. And that reward is the knowledge of the doctrine of life, man. Everything else, the Most High know how to add to it. Let's show you that. And then we're going to come back and finish this. Proverbs 24 and 3. What's up, Bach? Shalom, man. Yes. Self-correction. That's a good way to put it, bro.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, in verse 3. Through wisdom is an house built. And by understanding.
You can start with pages with being turned. Go ahead. Through wisdom.
Proverbs 24 and 3. Through wisdom is an house built.
Through wisdom is a house building. What the scriptures say about wisdom. Yeah, get it. It's the principal thing. But with all that getting, get understanding. So that means that you have to be studying your way. Israel, you have to examine your way. A lot of times y'all listen. I get people all the time. I listen to your classes. I listen to them all day, all night. When I'm walking, when I'm talking, when I'm sleeping, when I'm this, when I'm that. That's great. That's great. You're supposed to. At the same time, you got to do some work. You understand? You got to do some work. You got to apply the things that you hear. You can't just, the scriptures say, be ye doers of the word and not what? Not hearers only. Deceiving yourself. How are you deceiving yourself? Because you think that you being a good hearer, being a good hearer, that's going to change you. No, that ain't going to change you. What's going to change was if what you hear, it causes you to continue to believe, have faith, and be a doer. Right? Right. Everybody clear with that? So the stuff, if you spend all that time listening, then you need to spend just the amount of time doing it. Doing what you hear. Okay? So now, Proverbs 24:3, through wisdom is a house builder. So you're going to build your house. Remember how the fire tried you and you received the reward because you remember what to do? While you're doing that, the Father is working on something else for you. He's working on your house. Yeah, he's working on your house. He said, oh, I know you need a house. I know you need a house, and you need a house, and you need a house. And I know that in your house that you need these things. So you ain't got to worry about that. That's why I said, take no thought. What you shall wear, put upon, clothe upon. Don't even worry about none of that. He said, I got that. The only thing that you're supposed to be worrying about is the fire. Read the next part.
And by understanding, it is established.
And by understanding. What is the understanding? Do you think that the understanding is that the word, the Bible, the words in this book itself? That's already clear. That's been proven and tried and found faithful. So it's not this understanding, it's what you understand. It's like, okay, I understand that I'm supposed to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. I understand that. So if I'm going to remember the Sabbath to keep it holy, I'm not going to forget that it's a day of a solemn assembly. I'm supposed to be assembling myself someplace. If you can't make it long distance, just like y'all here today, just like y'all here, hey, we're assembling. Okay, I'm doing that. I remember to do that. What else I can do? Servitude work. I cannot work for money. Okay, so I'll remember that. What else can I do? I cannot cook a crock pot, coffee pot, boiling pot, the stove, microwave oven, microwave stove. I can't cook on top of candles. You understand? Israel's going to do all different type of stuff. We didn't even say the candles. You understand? No, I can't do nothing. By understanding. So every time you understand something and you start bringing all that understanding together, the Lord said, oh, okay, that's what's going to help establish your house. I hope that we're comprehending this thing, because a lot of us, that we living in broken situations and not understanding why we even broke. And when I say broke, I ain't talking about financially broke. I'm talking about spiritually broke. A lot of Israelites are spiritually broken. Mentally broken, emotionally broken. We can't figure it out. Because when it's time to understand what we're supposed to do, we get dumb. Yo, brother, didn't you know it's the Sabbath? Yo, sister, didn't you know that it was just, before I finish? What are you for? Didn't you know? They be snapping, I get them snapping. Like, that's gonna help them thinking. That means you forgot. What the scriptures teach us about forgetting. See, if you forget, you got no understanding. If you got no understanding, you got no house. You living with somebody else then. And if that's you in some cases, scenario, you watching but there is no sound, I don't know, sis, bag out and try and come back in. Somebody else, there ain't nobody else that said nothing. Let me see. Oh, sorry, hold up. I've got the volume down, huh? How's that? I lost my, no I didn't. Hebrews chapter 2 and 1. How was that, Sandra? You hear me a little better? Turn your volume up on your phone. That's like somebody saying, I can't see you, I can't see you. You have to tell them to open their eyes. Open your eyes then.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 2, and verse 1.
You gotta give my joke time to get out there, man. They got to laugh at it, you know. That's all right. Mo did Curly like that. I watched the Three Stooges back in the day. He's like, I can't. Like he panicked. I can't see. I can't see. I can't see. Mo would be mad over something like that. Open your eyes and say, oh. All right. Hebrews chapter 2 and 1.
Therefore, we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we should let them slip.
See that? Therefore, give them warning from the Lord, brother, when you read. Therefore, we ought to give them more earnest heed. That means, Israel, you got to be some good, you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. Once you pay attention, now you got to be departing. I'm finna go serve. I'm finna go do this, that, and the third. Then it says, to the things which we have heard, least at any time we let them slip. So you can't be just, hearers, but then it don't make you do. You got to be the type of hearer that's going to make it. You know what I'm saying? That, you're going to turn it into a doer. All right? So now, it's a little bit more there. I'll read it. Hebrews chapter 2 and 2. For if the word spoken by angels was steadfast, and every transgression and disobedient received a just recompense or reward. Second of all, we read that so fast, it probably went over our head, like those planes in the sky. Those planes are high in the sky, ain't they? Did you notice the word angels in that precept? When do you know that the spiritual angels were speaking from the spirit world, just talking at random to people? You're not gonna read that. Okay, so the angels is talking about his brothers, the prophets of God. For if the word spoken by angels was steadfast, and every transgression and disobedience received a just recompense or reward. It did. So when the prophets spoke and Israel didn't obey the prophets, the Most High came down hard on us. It says, how shall we escape if we neglect so great salvation? What is the salvation that we better not neglect? The Spirit of grace. Because the Spirit of grace is going to lead you to the salvation of the Most High. It says, which at the first began to be spoken by what? The Lord. And was confirmed unto us by them that heard him. All right? So now, let's lose that, and we're going to go back to 1 Corinthians chapter 3. And now, verse 15. Check this out. It's the last precept here.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, and verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
If any man's work shall be burnt.
If any man's work shall be burned. Just imagine, what is your work? Somebody give me something. Obadiah. What is your work? Okay. Well, you wasn't doing good if it burned you. Because it's a fire. It's going to try you. The only way you're going to get burned, it should be burned. That means you failed. The thing burned you. It was too hot for you. You understand? Okay, so give me something literal that you got to work on. So y'all think of something. I'm gonna take a few. Doing what he did when we played Run Across, he wouldn't come out. Come on out. Fast little joker too. What are you scared to run for and you fast? Come on, man. Evil thoughts. Okay. Okay. Evil thoughts. Okay, we're gonna deal with that. Go. Anybody else? Nobody else? Okay. Y'all scared to say what y'all work is? Don't get scared. Evil thoughts. Okay, so we'll deal with that. Okay. I deal with mine. Patience. With others, or more patience. Sometimes y'all drive me bananas. Straight cuckoo. You make me want to cry. You're killing me. But then some people be like, yo, man, you got mad patience, man. I be like, how? You don't see me dying. These people done put all type of age. When I showed up, I was a tender. Now look at me. They just drove me straight crazy. Y'all do the most, man. I got to suffer all of this stuff. Y'all send me to bed, man. I'm going to sleep. Pray, go to sleep. If it gets fed in the spirit. All right, so mine is patience with people. On top of the patience I already had to, Then I'm trying not to get that old syndrome. Where people get old, they get mean, they get fussy, they get bossy. Grumpy. I'm like, no, they're turning me. You see, that's a mean old lady. She be like that so don't nobody mess with her. Oh, man. What you say he comes with a lot. Oh, man. So, okay, mine's I just wanted to develop, more patience, like that human, like the nature app, or the little calm and water and the melody, nature and stuff like that. Just you doing what you're doing, that's on you. But me, in my mind, I'm like, shit, I got birds. So you know what I'm saying? Because you hurting yourself right now. You hurting me. Because I'm tripping off trying to help you. And you don't want to help yourself. So I'm trying to get rid of that. And I'm going to get there. I'm going to be like, just like the birds and the bees floating on your butt. So that's mine. And my other brother here is, what'd you say? Evil thoughts. I don't know what kind of thoughts you thinking. Shit. Evil think. I don't think evil about people. Either you is or you ain't. And if you lying, he gonna deal with you. Evil thinking. All right. So, now check it out. Stay with me. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 15. If any man's work shall be burned. Meaning, if you going through this and you lose. That's what burn is. You straight wipe out. You didn't pass. On your end, if you thought evil and you messed up so bad, you end up wrong. Or I messed up so bad, I lack patience. I'm repentant. I'm sorry. I know I was rushing. It caused me to do this. It caused me to do that. It says, he shall suffer what? Loss. What is the loss? You're going to feel bad. Because you know that you didn't pass. You know that you didn't pass. You know that you didn't do well. Because inside of your mind, you had enough mind to come bring yours up. You actually want to do that. Me, I had enough to bring mine up. Y'all, you couldn't even say what your thing was. You were ashamed. Don't let that shame cause you to sin. The scripture said, whosoever covered his sin shall not prosper. So don't let, I don't want to discuss. The scriptures teach us, man. Be not ashamed to confess our faults one to another. We're supposed to be able to say, hey, man, I need to get better at this. If somebody can acknowledge something that they trying to get better, that they want to get better at, that means they actually trying to get better at it. That's how bad you understand? That's how bad that they want to get better at it. Not, I ain't going to say nothing. That's a spirit on you saying, you better protect me. Shit, don't tell them how you really feel. They going to know. And if they know, then they're going to be correcting you. You see, no. Don't let that happen. But back to the precept. 1 Corinthians 15:3, if any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss. But he himself shall be saved. Oh, we do get a chance to get saved. How? You read it, Jarrell.
Yet so as by fire.
What that mean?
Being tried.
Huh?
Being tried.
You sure? Yeah. Positive. Before I move on, is you positive? Okay. What that mean? See what I mean? He gonna be saved yet so but by fire. Yes. That means it's coming back. You're gonna be saved, but it's coming back. It's gonna come back and back and back and back. It's gonna keep on passing you. You know that no person left behind? No, they ain't. This thing, that same temptation gonna keep coming to you. And that's why some people be like, hey, Shalom. Some people be like, hey, I'm going through this, and I've been going through this, and I've been trying, and I've been watching classes, and I've been trying, and I've been listening, I've been in class, and I've been trying. You keep getting burned. You keep suffering loss because every time you put in that situation, you fail. You ever heard this saying that you're looking for something different, trying the same old result, trying the same old thing, looking for a different result? That's what it's like. So what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to try the scriptures. You're supposed to actually fight and not just do anything. Do whatever you want to do and expect, ta-da! It doesn't work. Ain't no ta-da. What precept is that? Ta-da. No, hey, if our Bibles had sound effects and that precept was in there, boy, that's all you'll be hearing. Israel will be searching that thing out, man. Ta-da! And it's done. It's done. But that don't exist, brother. You have got to do the work. And until you do that work, until you start praying, until you start fasting, until you start strengthening your spirit, until you start applying, actually fighting and denying yourself, that fire is going to keep coming up. It's going to be a fiery trial. It's going to keep on coming up over and over and over. It's going to be pounding too, man. Some of you might get tired of it. I'm tired of going through this. I'm sick and tired of going through this. And you be like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's wearing me out. You might feel like that. But that's coming back to back like that, trying to get you to foresee the problem. And once you foresee the problem, then you're going to start trusting in the Lord. That's what that means in Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all that heart. We could get it. Let's get it. Got it? Proverbs 3 and 5?
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart.
Right. Go ahead.
And lean not unto thine own understanding.
Right. So you have to trust in Mashiach Yahushua and the Most High with all your mind that they got the solution. Because sometimes we be trying to bring forth answers to certain problems that we have, and it doesn't be correct. Right. It doesn't be correct. Like a big mouth woman. Do anybody know a big mouth woman or a woman that's very loud? Please ask us 26 and 27. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 27. A loud crying woman.
A loud crying woman. A loud crying woman. Some of us have mothers or aunties or grandmothers that are loud crying. Okay? Meaning very clamorous. Clamor. Fussy. Go ahead.
And a scourge shall be sought out to drive away the enemy.
And a scourge shall be sought out to drive away what? The enemies. So do we send women to war? The answer is no. So this ain't really talking about that. Give you an example y'all can live with, y'all can be familiar with. A lot of common houses, a lot of houses that's common in the world, you know, they got somebody in the house that'll do what? That'll cut you clean and ever up. You understand? You better get your MF off my porch. You don't bring that SHAT down here. I'll kick your MF to the this. Boy, try it if you wanna, nigga. I don't care about your ass. And you know what? He'll go on down the street. You see what I'm saying? She'll move the crowd. She will move the crowd. All right, read it again.
Ecclesiastes 26 and verse 27.
Right.
A loud crying woman.
Right, a loud crying woman. She opened the door and she see that on her front. Now, such were some of you. And we're going to get that. Go ahead.
And a scourge shall be sought out to drive away the enemies.
All right, so let's get the other part. First Corinthians 6 and 11.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 11.
Give him a moment. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 6 and 11. And such were some of you.
And such were some of you. You weren't allowed. There were sisters in here. Any sisters in here by a show of hands out there? No, I'd be like, don't worry about it. Don't show it. You could get down. You used to could get down. You used to get down. Okay. You used to could get down. Okay, all right. So go ahead. But what?
But you are washed.
But you are washed. So now, listen, if you used to could get down, how about you sisters on here? Used to could get down? If you used to could get down and you was like that, a very loud and scalding type of woman to drive off somebody off your front, this, that, and the third, that same thing can come back and try you. It can come back and it can try you, man. Yeah. You'll be tempted with that. And you'll be like, where did this come from? You tempting me. You tempting me. You've been holding off for so long. And you've been tempting you. And you be wanting to light off into him. I'm going to fire your ass. I'm going to get off into you. Because in your mind, you think that worked before in the past. It didn't work. You grew old. Old habits do what? They die hard. They don't just go away. It's hard to get them old habits. You can't You can't be about that in the truth. So when we read Proverbs 3 and 5, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. Your understanding was they're going to leave me alone because they know I cuss them out. You can't be like that. They're going to leave you alone when they see that you are a different person. You see that? They will leave you alone when they see that you're a different person. They're not going to leave you alone because you're cussing them out. They just going to agitate you even more because spirits on you and spirits on them. They don't care. You might even strike a fight. You might even start a fight like that. The scripture say grievous words stir up strife. Now you back and forth. You getting disrespected. And when they disrespect you as a woman, now your son get involved. Your grandson get involved. You ain't gonna talk about grandmama like that. Now he young and dumb. He want to kill somebody now. And they see them little mug shots. You know what I'm saying? He like 21 years old. He killed somebody because they talked to his grandma crazy. Come on, man. But such was some of you. But you are washed. So now if you're washed, you can't revert back into the old person that you once was. Right? But you are sanctified. Sanctified means to be what? Separated. Okay? You have separated yourself from the rest of those people that doing that. But you are justified in the name of the Lord Yahushua and by the Spirit of the Most High. All right? So now, let's lose that. Everybody clear with that thing? All right. We was holding some things. Proverbs 24. Proverbs 24 and verse 4.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, and verse 4. By knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches.
Right. So we understand what that knowledge is now. You have to know yourself. Right? You got to know yourself. And once you know yourself, and then you start applying it to yourself, then the understanding of the acknowledgement of the Lord the Most High is going to add. It's going to come. The Lord the Most High is going to bring these things to you. Okay, finish it.
A wise man is strong.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. Go to the book of Psalms, chapter 50. And verse 10.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 50, and verse 10. For every beast of the forest is mine.
So this is what the Lord's saying. Every beast of the forest is mine. So if it's his, you know he has the power to give them to whomever he will. Every beast of the forest is mine, said the Lord. Go ahead.
And the cattle upon 1,000 hills.
The Lord said, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. So all of these hills belongs unto the Lord, man. And all these cattle belong to him. Go ahead.
I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine.
Go ahead.
If I were hungry, I would not tell thee, for the world is mine, and the fullness thereof.
And the fullness thereof. So everything that's in this earth belongs unto the Most High. And he definitely, in other words, if he were ever in a position to be hungry, he wouldn't come to you. Because everything belongs to him. So that's who we get it from. That's who we get our life substance from. And how do we obtain these substances? Something simple. Learning to understand the path of life. Okay? Learning to understand the paths of life. And the things, what is that about proving thy soul? That's what I was going to look up. It is. That's right. Please ask us 37. And 27. Wait a second. So 23. Please ask us 37:23. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 37, verse 23. A wise man instructed his people.
A wise man instructed his people. So after we get the wisdom of the Lord from the experience, we've been through the fire. We have to go through the fire. Everybody understand that, right? Say, Khan? Right, we understand we have to go through the fire. Okay, that fire is so that we can grow. That fire is for us. And every time we go through that fire, it's going to show what type of person we are. Just accept it. Don't be in denial. Don't be rebellious. Just accept it. And once it shows you what type of person you are, now you got some work to do. Okay? You got some work to do. Because you want to be able to, instead of being broken down and burned up, consumed by the fire, we all going to take smoke. That's what fire do. We're going to take smoke. But up under that smoke, we still need to be intact. And that's why brothers and sisters are in our life. The scripture said, brother was born for adversity. All right? So we're going to get shine and buff back out. And then we're going to be able to instruct our people. Okay? Go ahead.
And the fruits of his understanding fail not.
And the fruits of his understanding fail not. Why? Because he knows what he's talking about. The life that we live is going to be able to help others. That's why Christ's understanding didn't fail. The Lord said he himself, well, the scriptures talk about Christ. In Hebrews 5, it says that that he learned obedience by the things that he suffered. And all the things that he suffered, according to 1 Peter 2, he left an example for us to follow. And does his understanding fail? No, it doesn't fail. And that's why we're so successful now. And the first thing that we're successful in is faith. That's the first thing. Faith, well, grace, faith, and then application. Faith, grace, and then application. Because we believe, and then we understand that we have an opportunity to try it again. Because our work got burned. And as in our attempts, we keep on trying and we getting better and better, we're going to learn, you understand, to apply it and then get better. Okay? So now verse 24.
A wise man shall be filled with blessings.
A wise man shall be filled. You see that? Where that wisdom come? It came from the commandments of the Lord, which is the doctrine of life. That wisdom come from the Father, according to Wisdom of Solomon in the 9th chapter. It's a spirit that's supposed to come and dwell with us and never forsake us. If that spirit be with us, dwell with us, live with us, don't forsake us, and keep us in the way and on the path, the scriptures say, wherever it enter, God will bless. A wise man shall be filled with blessings. That's the things that your heart desire, man. That's according to the will of the Father. And as we worship and serve the Most High and come on higher levels, we're going to know what to ask for. We're going to know, things that are according to his will. First and foremost, we're going to be asking for our houses to be on one accord. That's our heart's desire right there, man. I want my house to be right. I don't want my family to be like they ADHD, man. They children need Ritalin, A woman needs therapy. She needs Xanax. You understand? You all over the place. Oh man, I just want things to be right. I want the children to listen, the wife to listen. I want them to desire the commandments like I desire the commandments, you know. This brother wanted some type of super sport car. He stayed in the hood. Huh? You know what I'm saying? No, that's not gonna profit you. They gonna throw rocks at it. They want to scratch it up. They envious, man. What you need something like that for? Something you can't afford. You ain't afford the insurance on it. Yeah, just what's it? The zip code or the area code? The zip code. This zip is the 6-3, right? 5 digits. Yeah, the zip code. You got high, you know, sky high insurance. I say, oh man, you stay over there. So, but a wise man shall be filled with blessings. And that blessings is the commandments. What's up, Felipe? Shalom. Okay. Go ahead.
And all they that see him shall count him happy.
And all they that see him shall count him happy. Think about that. Let's let that marinate. Why do you think they're going to count you happy? First of all, they see the blessings on you. But is that how you feel?
Right.
Not necessarily. That's not how you necessarily will feel. How will we feel using the scriptures?
Hebrews chapter 12.
Let's see if you got it.
Hebrews chapter 12. And
Let's see if he's got it.
11.
Okay, read the precept again for us, Art?
Hebrews.
No, the one you just read.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 37, and verse 24. A wise man shall be filled with blessing, and all they that see him shall count him happy.
Right, and all they that see him shall count him happy. No, that's not it, Art. That you got the precept, but no, that's not it, y'all. Let's see. It's 1 Corinthians. I don't think this is, let me see.
Oh, okay.
It's 1 Corinthians 4. In 1 Corinthians chapter 4. And thank you. In verse 9. 1 Corinthians 4 and 9.
This
Read
is
it.
the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 4, and verse 9. For I think that God has set forth us, the apostles, last.
Right, so now this is Paul. He was talking about them. Okay? But they're not going to be the last. But that shows you that's what he thought. All right, 1 Corinthians 4 and 9. And remember, so keep this in mind. This is what we're hooking this up with. We're hooking this up with what was that? Ecclesiastes chapter 37 and, what was that? 37:24. 37:24, that a wise man shall be filled with blessings, and all they that see him shall count him happy. That's the mindset of the ones that see you in your blessing, but you went through hell and high water to get your blessings. We've been teaching all night on what it takes to get those blessings. You understand? It takes the walk of fire, man. You understand? That fire comes to you over and over and over until you finally get in it, this, that, and the third. Go on. So now, stay with me. They see you happy. But that's not necessarily how you feel. Okay? So now, 1 Corinthians chapter 4, and Paul has said, I think that the Most High have set us for us, the apostles' last, as it were appointed to death. Okay? I could go in on that, but I won't. Pay attention, stay with me. All right? As it were appointed to death. So he felt that they were appointed to walk in this thing until their lives would be taken, or they would just walk a natural life and have a natural death of old age. Read the next part. For we are made a spectacle. This is this. Or were they the last apostles? No. Christ said, "Go forth and teach all nations, teaching them, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost." Turning them into disciples. Now, all nations ain't talking about all these different peoples in the earth. It's talking about Israel that's amongst these nations. You understand? So now they become the apostles of Yahushua. All right? So now, and the same way that they were, we are too. For we are made a spectacle unto the world. You sisters, you are a spectacle unto this world too. Okay? Read the next part. And to angels. Right, be quick. And to angels, because we have angels looking at us in the earth, that's on the earth, and in the spirit world, looking at us. Okay? Just like Tobias. Didn't Tobias have an angel? What was the name of Raphael. That was the name, I want to say his angel, but the angel. You understand? His angel on the earth, walking around in the flesh, eating food, drinking, touching. You can touch him. He had a lineage. The angel Raphael. So angels are in this earth. They are on the earth. The problem is, they're our fathers, our brothers. You understand? Our elders, our teachers. We congregate with them, and you don't know. So you are a spectacle unto them. Okay? So now, it says, and to men. What is the men part? Just because other men too. Other men too. Okay? Here's our point coming up. Verse 11. Go ahead.
Verse 10. For we are fools for Christ's sake.
Wait a second now. For we are fools. Remember how we went through the process of somebody pulling on us, drawing on us, and we so bitter and we so angry, we got to put bars upon our mouths. We got to chill. Hey, give me a moment. I can't. You can always tell somebody that. Say, I can't. I can't. You know what that means? I can't argue with you right now. I can't. But we'll talk. I got to go gather myself. Fool, because you talk to me like that. But because I've made a covenant with my mouth and with the Father to deal righteously in the commandments, I have to stay true to my covenant, and I can't let the old man start up and fire off on you. I can't do that, because if I do, my work is burned and consumed. You understand that? I can't let that happen, right? So, for we are fooled for Christ's sake, but what?
But ye are wise in Christ.
But ye are wise in Christ. Okay? So now the ones that see you, where they get that wisdom from? Yes, from God, but they saw an example of the true wisdom of God because they see your behavior. They have been spectating you. Stay with me. You're going to learn something. They're going to be spectating you. They are seeing how to act. Because what? We have become the Bible made word, the flesh. You're the walking scriptures, man. That's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be shooting. All you got to do is take one thing at a time. Is that possible? Yes. Remember the Sabbath. Just use the Sabbath. That's something, for some of us, that's something so basic and something so easy. But to some, it's extremely hard. Preparation for the Sabbath. Go out and get everything that your heart desires. Refrain yourself from cooking and buying and selling. Laborious work. Have a holy convocation. And don't do nothing until the sky is black the following day. You just had a perfect Sabbath. You just did it. So when you teach somebody that, guess what? You make them wise. You make them wise. People can come to you and see how to observe the Sabbath. They can come to you and see how to dress godly. The scriptures talk about women professing godliness. What's the other word in Timothy? Modest, 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 modest. Not boobies showing. We don't want nothing in your boobies. No boobies. You understand? Modest. So it'll take another sister to show her sister how to be modest. Thus says the Lord. Not thus says the sister, but thus says the Lord. And so on and so forth. How to groom yourself as a man. It'll take another man to show another man, hey, you ain't going to grow up here and look like Chewbacca. Don't mar it up, brother. The scriptures teach you that. Leviticus 19:27. Don't do it. This is how you not do it. I've been doing this a very long time, man, and it ain't went up there yet. It's not going at this point. You understand? It's not going to happen. We teach people by our example how to be wise in Christ, how to make a good decision, how to walk in the scriptures. That's why you always have to keep it 100. So you youngsters be like, keep it 100. 100. Well, I wouldn't take nothing less. Okay? Now, read the next part.
We are weak.
Wait a second. So if we're so weak, then when we read Ecclesiastes, what's that? 37:20, 24. How they count us happy? Huh? How they count? What are they looking at to say that you're happy? Huh? That's it. What is it? They're looking at blessings. They say, oh, Sham, you got a nice car. Oh, Sham, you got a nice house. Oh, Sham, you got a wife. Oh, Sham, you got a dog. You understand? Oh, Sham, you woke up, what time you getting up? Oh, he's sleeping late. They make jokes out of it so bad. Oh, they make jokes out of it so bad. Oh, if it ain't 12, oh, he happy. Hey, that's only what you see. You looking at the wrong thing saying I'm happy. But that for real, I'm weak as hell. Because guess who I'm carrying? Everybody that I deal with, I'm literally carrying you. And it's okay because I signed up for it. Yo, man, help me with the real. Can you help me with my husband? Yo, brother, what do I do? The job is tripping. Yo, I got fired. Hey, I'm in the street. Hey, pray for me. Hey, send me some money. Hey, you understand? From sun up to sundown, I literally, if I start into space, I probably see the sun go away and come back. That'll make you weak. That'll make you tired. But that's okay. Because I love the Lord. And that's how we all have to be, man. Not just me. Each and every last one of you. That's going to make you weak. But when people see the things that the Lord has done for you, see, when you think about him, he going to think about you. You understand that? Let's say that. When you think about him, he going to think about you. That's true. See, the reason why I have y'all say certain things, because if you say it, it'll make sense to you. Because sometimes you be like, some people be like, say that again. And I'd be, you know, so far gone, I'd be like, it ain't me that was talking, but okay, let me try and go back. What part did you? So if you can say it, you think about it, think about him. Do his will, do his work. He gonna take care of you regardless. But you so busy not trusting in him, you trying to take care of you and you forgetting about who? Him. And therefore it's gonna cause him to forget about you. Or you think that he forget. I had to tell a baby girl today, I say, nah. She's like, is he hearing me? I said, yeah, he's hearing. But he just pretending like he's not hearing because of your sin. You mad at me? I know I'm not mad at you. I'm just a person that's not afraid to bear the bad news to you. I actually got a lot of love for you and want to see you do the right thing. It's not personal. But out of all the people you know, who gonna tell you the truth? Ain't none of them gonna come out and just flat out tell you the truth. So I'm gonna be the person to tell you the truth. Stop sinning. Stop hurting yourself. And then when you ask for certain things, he gonna hear you. And half the people gonna hear probably talking about, he talking about me. I ain't talking about y'all. Because the person I'm talking about ain't even on here. Because they don't do it no more on Facebook. So we do. You will. And so now guess what? If I feel this weakness, don't be surprised if who else feel weakness. Right. If you feel weakness. Because we're trying to help each other. We are helping each other. We trying to be there for each other. We are being there for each other. All right? So now, let's see. Did we finish this? For we are fool for Christ's sake, but you are wise in Christ. Ye are wise in Christ, so they're wise in Christ. We are weak. So even in your weakness, they're going to see all the things that the Lord has helped you with, all the things that God has blessed you with, the Most Highest. Read the next part.
But you are strong.
So it's supposed to lead to the... So our sacrifice supposed to lead to what? It says, but ye are strong. Our sacrifice supposed to lead to what? Their what? Their strength. Everybody understand that? So even like, let me use me as an example. When I teach y'all, whether it's a brother or a sister, I'm spending my time to teach you. Do you not know that you burning my light, my candle? My candle's going down. You need to make good use of that light. That light is the law. I'm getting weaker. We're getting weaker. What did Paul say in his time? He said that they were going to the death. You understand that? They said we're gonna die, man. They're gonna die. I subliminally be telling y'all, man, hey, y'all better get this through y'all's head. That everything that y'all learning, that y'all better take good heed to it and keep and hold on to it forever, man. Because you're going to have to add to it. Just like I had to add to this learning that the elders that I came up under had taught me. Where they at, I don't know. But someday you might be off on your own. But we definitely going to ride as long as we can ride. Don't spend this time in vain. Spend it learning. Spend it getting stronger. Spend it making sure that you fulfill all your covenants that you make unto the Lord. All the things that you say, I'm going to stop doing. Make sure that you stop doing it. And who out of all people would love to see it? Me. Because you are using me. You are. You're using me to help you to become a better person. Shouldn't I be the person to see it? I would love to see it. You become stronger brothers, sisters, stronger marriages, apostles of Christ. I want to see you stand bold as a lion, out there teaching, standing on our corners, in the world, in the four corners of this world, bringing Israel back. I want to see that. Because it's the Lord's doing, not mine. So we have got to take advantage, but ye are strong. Get your strength, man. The energy that you take, make sure that it empowers you. It's a good word, thank you. Make sure that it empowers you. Okay? So now, read the next part.
Ye are honorable.
Ye are honorable. So see how any real brother gonna look at you? Honorable. Elders are not looking at you like, what? You nothing. You spittle. Shit. No, man, we got the spirit of a Mashah Yahawashah, man. We don't look at you like you spittle, man. We look at you knowing that you're the greatest people. And then on top of that, the scripture said that each of us esteem other better than ourselves. Every person in here, I look and see something good, as well as I can see maybe your mistakes that you made. Always I can see something good. If there was nothing good in here, you'd be driven up out of here. Best believe that. You a damn wolf up in here with the sheep. Get out. Would drive you up out of here with the laws. But the fact that you hear that goodness about you, water it. Water it. Shine some light on it. Water it some more. Let the Father increase it. All right? So now, come on, y'all. Sure.
Galatians 6. Because there was something he said that I hope we all really gravitate to. And what he said was, he expect to see the growth, and he expects to see that the things that he install and teach to the body, to brothers, you know what I'm saying, the examples that he said, he should wanna, see the growth and see that the things that's coming out through the Spirit is being applied, in the scripture say. So it's Galatians chapter 6 and verse 6.
This is the book of Galatians chapter 6.
No, I'm sorry, 6. Go ahead.
Galatians 6 and verse 6. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things.
Exactly. So it says, let him that is taught in the word. So who is he taught by? Who is him? Him is the student. Him is the brother that's seeing the example. Him is the person that, need to grasp it, get it, and what? Apply it. So let him that is taught by who? The elder, right? In the word. See? So the word is what? Reproof of instruction, correction, right? Admonishing, reproof, and also what? Example, right? let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things. See? So that communication ain't just words. You know what I'm saying? That communication is also what? Actions as well. So that communication is bringing forth fruit, bearing fruit, spiritual growth, right? And this is the precept that even confirmed the statement that was made. He was like, I should want to, he was like, I should, be able to receive and see that. I want to see that. Ain't nothing wrong with that because that's of the Spirit. It says, communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things. What's good? Romans 7 say what? The law is good. You know what I'm saying? Holy and just. So that means that what? We grown and we sprout. It's germinating in our mind mentally and we get it. See? Like for example, another precept. It's in Ecclesiastes, chapter 33. And this also go what's coming out, go with 1 Corinthians 4. And what's coming out through the Spirit, because that's the Spirit. It says, Ecclesiastes 33 in verse 17.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 33, and verse 17. Consider that I labor not for myself only.
See that? So the scripture say, consider that I labor not for myself only. That's what's coming out through the Spirit. That's what he's saying. That's what the Most High is speaking through him, through Paul, you know what I'm saying? And through who? Through Sirach. And also, in Galatians, when he dealt with the Galatians. How those that's taught have to grow. So when he be watching and reproving or saying, no, don't do it like this, don't do it like that, do it like this. All right? So it says, consider that I labor not for myself only. Period.
But for all them that seek learning.
Yeah, for all them that seek learning. So if we hear, it's because we seek learning. And the labor that's being done, we gotta gravitate to it. And we gotta get it because it's the Most High and Yahweh Shai, the Spirit, giving us all the things that we need. And it comes from the elder. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
All right, Israel. So, did we finish 1 Corinthians 4? Here's what happened to y'all too. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and 10. It says, for we are fools for Christ's sake, but you're wise in Christ. So this is how you end up. End up like that. We are weak, but you're strong. So you end up like that. You end up strong. You're honorable. But we are despised. So that part right there, despised. It's like if you're doing so much good work, then why you end up despised? Because everybody don't look at it like that. As that you doing a good work. Everybody, some people look at it like you're trying to change things. Let us alone. Let us be. Leave us alone. But if you're the ones that's not despising, which is good, you're going to end up prospering. You end up getting yourself eternal life. You're going to end up with the reward that you've been looking for. Ecclesiastes 37, 25.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 37, and verse 25. The days of the life of man may be numbered, but the days of Israel are innumerable.
Right, the days of Israel is going to be innumerable. So that's that's the ultimate goal. That's what we're shooting for. All right, go ahead.
A wise man shall inherit glory among his people.
Right, a wise man shall inherit glory among his people. That's what we all seeking for, glory amongst our people. We're seeking to be have a good name, be respected, to be loved, to be honored, to people think of us with a good heart. You know, that's supposed to mean something. You know, I once met this lady. I don't know, I might have been about I don't know. If I just to take a stab at it, I don't know, 25, 26, 27, somewhere around there. And she was from Detroit. And I met her in Atlanta, I think. So we had this big picnic, you know, in Atlanta. I don't even think it was a high holy day, was it? Went to Atlanta, it was a high holy day. So long ago. So anyway, her name was Cornelia. And Cornelia was probably across 60, late 60s. She could have even been 70. And she had said, Shamshuan, because I guess she had heard me teaching or something. You know, we used to do a lot of shows on television. We had a television channel, TCI Cable. And a lot of our shows, the different schools, Toy Tribes Productions, they were shows that were televised. So that'll be something nice too. So if anybody out there is a tech and you know how to get this on cable television or direct television, something like that, if we have to buy a channel or something, speak up. Let's see what we could do. But anyway, she said, I heard so much about you. And for some reason, I'm tender, soft-hearted. I just melted in this woman's arms. I just cried like a baby. And the reason is because I really work hard for you not to say anything about me. Anything bad. I don't want nothing bad said about me. I don't want, in a carnal sense, I don't want nobody looking for me. I don't want the police looking for me. I don't want my taxes not paid. I don't want my bills unpaid. I don't want to have bad credit. In the truth, I don't want you to be like, well, he did this to me. He said that to me. You know, he offended me with this. So, to have a good name, the scriptures say that's better than 10,000 great treasures of gold, man. And I had worked, so I felt I worked so hard, you know, to have a good name. So I heard it say that. Say, I've heard so many good things about you. You know, it just made me feel good. So I'm sharing that with y'all is because you can do the same thing. You can have a good name. But you gotta work at it. You gotta work at it, you gotta work on it. And it starts with you. It don't start with you helping somebody else. That's not where you get a name from. I'm going to help you. I'm going to show you the scriptures. I'm going to wake you up. I'm going to bring you into the truth. I hear that all the time. Somebody, they agitated because they feel that I can't wake somebody up. I can't wake my sister up. I'm like, is she still in bed? What the hell is this? You wake somebody up. I can't wake my family up. It's not true. I keep telling them. It's not true. This got nothing to do with you. Do you. Work on you. You change you. That, how is that doing anything in the truth? Some people, they just don't get it, man. See, working on you and getting yourself together prepares you to show somebody, hey, I know which direction to go in. When the same things that you know what I'm saying? The stuff that you went through, like, okay, come this way. I can help you out. See, now you can go into some scriptures. See, these precepts help me. See this class helped me. This understanding that, look at this precept. You see, it says it right there. The days of Israel are innumerable. A wise man shall inherit glory from among his people. So when you, that's Ecclesiastes 37:26. And his name shall be perpetual. God doesn't lie. He doesn't lie. Why are we keeping these commandments? Because the Father said that we're going to inherit glory and have a name that's not going to be put out. So the names that you have right now, that name is going to be with you. Well, let's just say, for instance, you know, you go from having a Greek name to a Hebrew name. That's okay. That name going to be with you. Yeah, that name going to be with you. People going to know, people are going to know who you are, and that name going to continue with you. Perpetual, none-ended, never stopping, a righteous name. And that's a beautiful thing, man. Okay? Verse 27.
My son, prove thy soul in thy life.
Prove thy soul in your life. You understand? Go ahead.
And see what is evil for it.
Right. So, in other words, the things that you go through. Now, of course, nobody's going to go out there. This is not recommending that you go out there and be like, let me try to shoot up heroin. Let me try to snort methamphetamine. Do they snort that meth? Or drink it? They smoke it? Let me try that. It's not saying to do that. It's saying examine your life. Examine. You go through certain things and you examine your life. So it says, and see what is evil for it. And give not that unto it. How are you going to know if something is evil? Ecclesiastes 37 and 27. How are you going to know what's evil? Using the scriptures.
Back to 1 Corinthians 13, you got burned. 3 of me.
Well, let me say no. The reason is because you got burned so that you could overcome that. Well, now hold up, let me get that back. Okay, that's acceptable. I'm just looking for something else. So you got burned to feed off that, because I still got to get this other answer I got in mind. You got burned, and it kept coming back. It kept coming back until you passed it. All right. I'm looking for something else. So, what it says, Ecclesiastes 37 and 27, see what is evil for it and give not that unto it. How do you know that it's evil for it? The brother said that was good. He said that you got burned. I'm looking for something else. How do you know something is wrong with it? Come on, man. Don't let me trick y'all. Nobody can catch it? Please ask us 7 and 8. Remember that one? Read that, Dre.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 8.
Okay, give him a moment to get it. Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. All right.
Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. Bind not one sin upon another. For in one thou shalt not be unpunished.
So how do you know when something is not good for you? You got punished.
Right.
You got punished. That's a definite thing right there. Okay? You get punished doing something, you're like, damn, I'm not supposed to do that. Right? And then the Father, he gonna make it clear. Because this thing gonna hurt. It's gonna be affliction. Right? Go back to Ecclesiastes 37 and 27. My son, prove thy soul in thy life. So Israel, you got to pay attention. While you living, you got to pay attention. Everybody understand that? And see what is evil for it. See what your life rejects. And you got to know that it's getting rejected by the Father because of the punishments that come along with it. And give not that unto it. So stop giving it unto it. Everybody understand that? That's a provision for the flesh that's the Lord. Like say for instance, if you were, I got some, but y'all can, just give me an example. Something that you can cut off because of the punishment. You're doing something, you get punished. So now you got to cut it off. Come on. Go ahead, Remy. Fornication. Okay. So you fornicating. All right here. You fornicating. Lord judged you with herpes. Herpes is like a cold sore to like 1,000 power. I use the black thing for this. You know? Right. All blisters on your private part. Because you had sex, fornicating sex. At the time, you loved it. Put the equal up there. It's going to equal that. You get that. Did the Lord agree with you what you did or disagree? He disagreed. Yeah, he disagreed. Okay? So those judgments are put there telling you no. Stop it. Okay? Anybody else? Y'all want me to erase that, don't you? You say, erase that. You burning bread. People be like, I heard it all. They be like, you burning bread on me, man. Oh, you trying to, what else I heard? You trying to wish something on me? I'm like, no, I'm trying to tell you stop it. Because this can happen. Okay? I'm not ready. Shit. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You need to see it, man. Yeah. See, I have to bring my, I have to raise my children. I have to, I have to scare them with the worst stuff, man. So I go right on the internet and pull up all these different pictures and say, this is what you're gonna look like if you let somebody touch you. I have to pull out my arsenal. Shit. You let somebody touch you, the Most High gonna get you. He'll give you this. All right. So, where we at? Please ask us 37 and 27 again. My son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. Anybody else? What else? He's dead. What killed him? Because remember, when lust is conceived, it bringeth forth what? Death. It bringeth forth death. What killed him? What sin that is common in people? Uh-oh, somebody said smoking. Yeah, he's smoking. How did the Lord judge him? Lung cancer. He didn't think it'd happen to him. He had cancer, lung cancer. I'll say it again because I know that there are people here that don't know the story. But so the house I lived in, that I'm living in now, I moved in the house. I bought the house in 2005. So this is 18, right? So how long is that? 13 years. So my next door neighbor she was When I met her, she was a smoker. Hey, how you doing, Doc? How you doing? Okay. Yeah, kept a cigarette. I got to know her. She was, you know, for a while she was pretty cool. You know, she had flowers and, you know, green hands and stuff like that. And I like to do some outside planting. Keep my lawn up, plant some flowers and trees and stuff like that. So she was okay. But then the witch came out in her. I found out, you know, because she would always spook her house up with all different type of Christmas stuff. Everything, every holiday, she was full-fledged. I mean, the house, the neighborhood, the street would just be packed with everybody in her house. Well, anyhow, I never knew it. She caught cancer, possibly a few months ago. She just died like 2 months ago. It's probably been about 2 months. Is that? No longer. So I found out, listen, I found out that she had cancer. Let's say if this is September, I found out she had cancer in July. In August, the next month, she died. She died like 4 weeks later. So she was just, it just comes really fast and it takes you out. So all the time you brothers and sisters are smoking, you don't know that God is going to kill you. Those are your lungs. I made them red. Because that stuff that's in there, it stays in you. You put it there. It stays in you. It doesn't go away. You think it blows out? It stays in there. And it stays in there too. Smoking is bad. It's gonna kill you. Another story. I might have been about, I knew this girl. She used to hang out on this street where the school is. And so all these brothers, they saw her too. Because she was always bounce on her toes and you know, grinny, smiling, always waving. So once I tried to correct her, you know, she had a church spirit on, a Christian spirit. I just let it go. I found out she dropped dead. So well, first someone said she had cancer, and then the same identical thing. Within a month or 2 months, she dropped dead. So I guess you find out that you have it when you in your health, or so you say, you know, because you're still puffing and puffing and dragging and puffing and dragging and puffing and blowing. And once you find out you have it, maybe you get a little winded, or I don't know, I don't smoke. But you get a little winded, a little sick, or something, you're not feeling as great. And then you go in and then they tell you, bam, you got cancer. And so you don't let nobody know. And so for the next 3 months, you know, you're trying to follow their instructions. But then in the 4th month, you start wearing a hat. As your hair start falling out. And then you die in the, like, maybe the 5th month. I don't know, but I'm telling you. This one summer I saw this girl. It's been 3 years maybe, right? since she died about that. It's been about 3 years. We all saw her up and down the street, happy as a lark. And someone said she's got cancer. 1 month, the next month, she was resting. She got put to sleep. My son, prove thy soul. This is Ecclesiastes 37 and 27. So we're hooking these illustrations up with the scriptures. Is that right? No, I did that wrong. I put them on backwards.
No.
Nope.
No. Too bad.
What is it, 27?
37, 27.
Not a 2 here? And what else? And then change this one?
37, just the 3.
I have to work on those numbers. The numbers will get you. So we're hooking these illustrations up with that. So you gotta prove, my son, prove thy soul in thy life and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. So what was that other one? Please ask us 8 and 7, right? 7 and who?
8.
7 and 8. Please ask us 7 and 8. You're gonna know. Smell smoke now, cigarette smoke. Somebody out there looking for cancer. All right. Any other illustrations before? Any other before we move on? What else is Israel out doing? Eating unclean foods. Yeah. The pig, the shrimp, lobsters, fish without fins and scales. What else? Oysters. Yeah, oysters and the other stuff that cause you to get the heartworms and stuff, like dogs. Sushi. Yeah. You eating stuff that these nations are fixing, and we started off when the Lord said they can't even come into the congregation. So if they can't never come into the congregation forever, how the hell they know what to do? You won't listen and follow somebody that don't know what to do. Moab and Ammon. Yeah, shrimp and pork. Yeah, but we talking about the sushi. That's a raw fish. What kind of fish is that? Is it even, that's a good question to look up. Is that even a lawful, huh? Salmon? Somebody look it up. It's just raw, you can't eat it like that. It's gonna give you worms. All right, so we're moving on, y'all, out of it. Verse 28, Sirach, Ecclesiastes 37 and 28. Read that.
Ecclesiastes 37 and 28. For all things are not profitable for all men.
For all things are not profitable for all men. Oh, something else. Somebody went back to the food, eating human meat and don't even know it. Well, if you don't, you better know it. It ain't gonna taste like, you know, meat. Okay. Or eating horse meat, you know. And it's at McDonald's, they got the 10-to-1 special. 10 horses to a cow. You know, grind it all up. And that's why them burgers are so cheap. They take dead horses and grind them up. I don't know though, y'all. Don't stop on my behalf. Oh, but so now with this precept in verse 28, for all things are not profitable for all men, like drinking. Okay? You get drunk. Wish I could draw some throw up. You throw up. Think we can make this man throw up? Yeah. Okay, we'll take this cancer away. Some of you like, yay! Sorry. You'll still get it. You keep on. You better stop. We make him throw up. Oh, yeah. Oh, we need a little blood in there too, though. He hurt his stomach. You had to bend over. You're like, oh. How do we get them to bend the knees? That's his knees bending, y'all. What is this? The phone just went out. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Still send them live too. Maybe. Now I'm watching myself. I don't think he looks so cool. Let me draw him over. Any artists in here? Artists. He's sick though. Yeah. He's sick. So where's his dad? He's drinking. Huh? No.
you.
Five.
Yeah.
Okay, five. I thought you said E. He trying to get me out there. Yeah, but you gotta go back to the 3rd grade. And he's drunk. This cat is drunk, man. Drunken. Proverbs the prudent. Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31 and so verse 4.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, and verse 4. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink.
Right. So it's not you trying to be a leader. It's not for you to be a drunkard. That's what it's going into. Okay, we can't cut it out altogether because Yahushua was a leader and he drank wine. But remember, Ecclesiastes 37 and 27. If it's dealing with you in an evil fashion, then you got to stay away from it. You turn your car up, wish I can draw a dented up car. The front crashed in, man. It's real. You getting DWIs. What's a DUI? Yeah, and DU. Okay. Yeah. You too? W or I? W or you?
One is the other one's
Right. Okay. He says two of them. He must know. It's two of them. See, you getting tickets, DUI. Somebody on here said DUI. Okay. You getting tickets. Car crash. What's that? I messed up. Huh?
No, you got it.
C-O-R-A, right. S-H. Car crash. Death. You got drunk. You start talking stuff. Pow. Somebody pow-powed you. And you was popping your lips. Saying stuff you weren't supposed to be saying. Or you went home and you called your old lady the wrong name. She put it on you. She threw some hot grease on you. My name ain't no damn Renee. That's your middle name. He's like, that's your middle name. She's like, oh, these other people know they just do it. She's like, oh, I burned you, baby, I'm sorry. So, okay, Ecclesiastes chapter 31 and verse 5. Proverbs 31 and 5.
Proverbs 31 and 5. Least they drink.
Least the men drink. Go ahead.
And forget the law.
And forget the law. That's right. You get drunk, you get some girls. You get drunk, you get some guys. You get liquored up, to do some business. You know, some of y'all got some stories about getting liquored up. I don't have too many of them though. You want me to tell you why? Because in my younger days, I didn't drink until I came into the truth. All my bad habits I learned in the truth. Just to think about it. Not all of them. But I did learn some bad habits from people in the truth. And I stopped. When I saw it and I caught myself, I said, oh, when you supposed to do this, it's wrong. I cut them off. Cut them off. Yep. Cut them off. Drinking in the world, I didn't drink. I was bone dry sober. Drinking and smoking was an abomination to me in the world. I didn't even look at people. As a man, I didn't even look at you. You didn't even have a chance in hell if you was a smoker. I can't even breathe around you. And if you was a drinker, I wasn't even interested. It was lame right there. I drank juice. I got into the truth though, and you know, the elders were drinking. They were drinkers. So then so after a while, I started drinking. But then I stopped. Because it gave me a hangover. I don't like hangovers. Yeah, I don't like hangovers. Yeah, so I stopped. So I understand when the scriptures say if something is dealing evil with you, don't give it to yourself then. You stupid. Why would you keep doing that, man? I don't want to tone it down a little bit, because how many times you try and tone it down and you still get off the chain? And then there you go again, talking about, Lord, if you just make me feel better, I ain't gonna do it no more. And then 3 weeks later, you have a cup too many. So, but it says, least they drink and forget the law. So you'll drink and forget the law. What drink, they straight tell you, you gonna forget the law. It's a saying about this drink. Gin. Gin make you do what? Sin. See it right there. So if you drink sin, if you drink gin, can y'all see it? Gin will make you sin. I heard somebody heard. You should drink the gin. What kind? Brother said.
See, that was the worst one. You did better. You was on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bumpy face.
I didn't drink it like that. I didn't pour it.
So gin will make you forget the law. Yeah, so it shows you. Drinking will make you forget the law. You would do things and you would say things. It's not all sexual. You could end up fighting, being disrespectful, reckless with your mouth, being insensitive, right? Being insensitive. You put people out your house. You ever seen some drinkers do that? Put people out there. put people out their house. First they was in there cool playing cards. It was just chilling. That'd be their school, or they was just playing cards. But then they had to open that bottle of spirits. And once they pop the top, you can smell the spirits coming out. They coming out in a circle of motion and enter into the room. Settle on down on your cup. And you in there sipping, I'm just sipping. I said I'm just sipping. Well, why you do that? Well, why you do that? You can't do this in my MF house. I tell you what, take it out there. Did you hear me? Take it out there. Now you just put. His brother said, I done that before. Hey, they forget the law, man. So what the law say about putting somebody at your house? That none of us said that none of these things were our own, but we got all things in common. You're gonna put me out. I've been put out of better places, man. We trying to retaliate now. You keep your little raggedy house. You see this doorknob? It's broke anyway. Let me out of here. The doorknob really is broke. All right, go ahead,
And pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted.
Go ahead.
Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish.
Right, so brothers ready to perish, that's what type of, he ready to die. He's sick, he's on this last one. It's gonna medicate him even deeper into sleep. Are you ready to perish? Then why you consumed with alcohol, man? Why is that a part of your life? So you're supposed to, know what hurts you. You know that old saying, what they say about a drunk? They say he ain't nothing. Yeah, they say he ain't nothing. A drunk ain't nothing. S-H-I-T is how they say it. So Israel, we can't do that, man. Okay, become drunkards. If you know that alcohol is hurtful to you, it destroys you, it changes your mood, it changes your spirit. You don't get along with people when you drink. Then stop drinking. We argue when we drink. Tell you what, we ain't gonna drink then. I'm gonna share Dr. Pepper. Would you like one? I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? We're gonna drink Dr. Pepper. You understand? We're gonna drink something like that. We're gonna drink something mild. All right. It says, and wine unto those that be of what? Heavy hearts. Is our hearts heavy? When is our heart heavy? When we holding on to sin. Because the stimulation that you get from those intoxicants, man, it helps you forget. At least you try. But when you sober up, the same old problems be right there. Live and in living color. Right back again. So all you did was develop yourself a bad habit of self-medicating yourself to try and fend off something that can't be fended off. It's still there. As a matter of fact, you just created something better. I mean, you just created something worse, not better. You just created something worse. So we got to finish up Israel, and that's it. Ecclesiastes 37 and 28. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 37 and verse 28. For all things are not profitable for all men. Neither have every soul pleasure in everything.
Right. So every soul is not going to have pleasure in everything. So I guess like sometimes you might see this brother or this sister enjoying something, but you don't have pleasure in it. I mean, just talking about the drink. I'm not abhorring drink. The scriptures teach us about it was, in one aspect of it, it was meant to make men glad. So some brothers enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. I wouldn't enjoy it. Okay, so I wouldn't take pleasure in it. Where's that at? 30:28. Neither have every soul pleasure in everything. In everything. What else can one person enjoy but another person doesn't? And is lawful. Eating meat? Yeah. Okay, that's a good one there. The eating of meat. I don't eat meat. Another brother or sister don't. We don't eat meat. But others, carnivore, you know, they tear it up, knock it down. They be you know, the scripture say confess your faults. I be wondering how, is that normal for a vegan to just like look at some chicken wings like y'all the bomb, I just don't eat you though. Or to eat a steak, or to see a steak and be like, hey, that steak sure look good. You know, but I don't want to eat it. I don't want to eat it. Now the one time, listen, and every vegan in Christ should know and understand this. The one time that you must eat meat is when? Right, the Passover. That you got to partake in it. I wonder did y'all know that? Who out there knew that? How many vegans out there? How many vegans online? None. If you're a vegan, let's show some healthy hearts for a vegan. Huh? And vegetarians, huh? Any vegetarians out there? I know I saw one vegan in here. Maybe he left. No vegan or vegetarians. Oh, okay. Healthy heart. So, sis, did you know on the Passover, you must eat the lamb. You must eat the lamb. So the Passover that just left, I was tripping. You know, they was talking about how tender some meat was, and you know, okay, you knew that. So listen, they was talking about, I don't know if we had the whole lamb, right? You know what I'm saying? We had them. So the neck of it, they was talking about the meat that was around the neck was so tender, you know, they drew me into it. I'm like, for real? You know what I'm saying? I ain't had meat the whole year. So that's the only time I eat it on the Passover. I got to and I always take like a little piece. Probably about the size of this. Or smaller. First it started off half of that, you know. And then it got to that. Every year it's gotten bigger. And then, you know. So we out there roasting, you know, the pieces of this lamb. And they's talking about, it was some other people out here from my time. They were talking about how tender it was. And I'm like, dang, for real? And I'm like, well, I might as well take me a little piece of it. I found myself eating it. Eating pieces off of it. I'm like, I'm a vegan. What am I doing? Stop it. So I stop it. I stop it. I'm like, I don't know nobody see me doing this. So I stop it. I hadn't had no meat. So I come in and I eat my piece. And they was watching Yash. He hawking like, is he gonna do it? I saw you. He like, the whole time, man, you can't do that, dog. My food got cold waiting for you to just turn away. He was like, is he gonna eat it? That's my brother though. So after I ate it, for the life, I'm wondering like, what are y'all? I'm like, for real, y'all tripping. Everybody tripping. My jaws felt like I had locked jaw. I'm like, I'm eating something that doesn't go away. I think it's the season and the smell when you're hungry that makes you want it. But when I was chewing it and chewing it and chewing it and chewing it and chewing it, it didn't go nowhere. I'm like, what is they be doing eating this? I'm like, who eats this? So it was just like a clunk of something that was there. I'm like, I don't miss this. I had to swallow it. I'm like, I don't miss this. It didn't go anywhere. I don't miss it. I look at it and I like it and I'm happy for y'all, but I swear I don't miss it. So I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. Looking around, let me try something else, another piece. Because I remember back in the day, we used to, on Fridays, the wife would grill the lamb chops. So we had a whole lamb, plenty of meat. So I'm like, I'm gonna try lamb chops. Then I'm thinking like tomorrow, am I gonna be like tripping and now I'm back eating meat? Did you feel like that too? You did it? So did you eat a lamb chop? Yeah. See? Yeah, it was terrible, wasn't it? So I had a lamb chop and the same thing happened. I'm chewing it and it didn't do nothing. It did nothing for me. It was a dud. I'm like, I'm not eating no more meat. That was a wrap. So I bet it would be the same thing with the chicken. I love to see y'all eat it. I'm not hating on it. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Huh?
I'm looking at the chicken. That's my favorite food.
Yeah, but I can't do it. Yeah. So we'll stop here, but I'm gonna read the precept over again so everybody can know what I was talking about. This is in the Bible. What's up, Dorothy? This is in the Bible, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 37 and 28. The last precept, it says, neither have every soul pleasure in everything. So everybody not gonna have pleasure in the thing that you have pleasure in. So don't dislike them for it. Like, I'm vegan. I don't dislike meat eaters. You understand? You take pleasure in it. You grill the chicken. You grill the steak. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, grilled turkey and hamburger and stuff. I just don't take pleasure in it. And last but not least, the number one reason why I had stopped eating meat, I think the first reason was I was trying to deal with blood pressure. So and on a health note, and then we're finished. I found out the hard way. Blood pressure, it can have something to do with diet, but you cannot blame it on the eating of swine. Okay. Swine is unlawful to pig. You can't eat that, no shape, form, or fashion. It's disgusting. Not personally, but according to the scriptures, it's an abomination. High blood pressure can come from lifestyle, and diet, sodium, stress. So when I say that I carry y'all, before I can even carry y'all, I carry my house. And I hold my house to a standard. Let's say that's above that line. All this is down here. To me, this is confusion. This is confusion, and this is riffraff. You couldn't even live in my house under these circumstances. So this is Israel. That's Israel. I got to be up there. In order to help this, you can't participate in this. Well, so headaches, high blood pressure gave me headaches. And so I did everything trying to figure out what could bring it down, what could, before I realized that that's what it was, because I had already had a clean diet. I actually don't know what the hell headaches was about. So that's what made me start alleviating certain things. Let me alleviate this, that, meat, this, that, and third, you know. Still no change. It was something else. Well, anyway, the meat didn't do it. But when I changed the diet, I did figure out that my digestive system changed for the better. That's the thing that I wanted to say. So for those of you that you want to feel cleaner, you want to feel spark, you know, like live, you got to eat live food. And I'm not saying that the meat is something wrong. I'm just saying that you have to eat and you have to know the different advantages of different food sources that you eat. A lot of you, if you feel tight and bloated and you want to go to sleep after you eat, that means your food is dead. That doesn't mean that it's not good for food consumption. It just means that it's like a dead battery. Yeah, a dead battery and a live battery. Because your food is supposed to energize you. After I eat, I can do anything if I eat the right thing. I came in from work today. I had nothing but a bowl of cereal this morning. I came in from work today, and my wife had a little cup that she got from like a vegan thing of some kale salad. That right there meant more to me than the whole day. When I saw that, I saw stars. I was like, damn, this is gonna be fire. And it was only about that much, man. About 4 or 5 forks full. But I know that that's like $100 bills inside of there. And you were broke, need to go to the store. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is gonna be good. Because that type of stuff right there will give you energy. Romaine lettuce, dead. Spinach, very little attributes. Kale is not the best tasting, but I guarantee you, if you got somewhere to go and something to do, eat a kale salad. And I bet you make it there and you feel good there. You'll be singing on the way. And you're going to be wondering, where'd this come from? From the food source that you eat. Beans will do the same thing to you. Black beans, brown beans. Rice is dead. It's a filler. But the bean will do that to you. And also, last but not least, then we're finished. You use the bathroom too. When you use the bathroom, you begin to clean out your colon and get rid of some excess weight. Weight around your stomach. You just walking around. Some people use the bathroom once a week. I use the bathroom more in one day at times than you probably in the whole week. I want to say month. Vegans use the bathroom a lot. Straight up. Because their food goes right through them. You can eat something and see it come out that same day. The pipes is clear. Yeah. So that's the reason why I eat vegan. Because I'd rather feel like that, you know. The meat will always be there. If I wanted to go back to it, I just go back to it. But for now, you know, I like the digestive system. The older you get, it's, you know, it's harder to, you know, you're not as active, you're not playing sports or exercising or jogging and running. Things are not too funny anymore. This is our little humor here, but just like children, you ever open a door for a child? Tell it to young blood so you can say it. You ever open a door for a child and the first thing they do is run down the steps and down the sidewalk, and on GP just race a car that's going up the street? You understand? That's active. The older you get, you're not doing that no more. You're not ripping and running the way that you used to rip and run. So you got to try to find certain ways, things to help your body. And that's why the scriptures say, know what's good for you. Prove it. And if something ain't good for you, then, take care of it. All right? What is your book?
She was thinking
Oh, that's right. And it doesn't stink. It doesn't stink when you use the bathroom. I can literally boast and tell my children, my poop don't stink. I go to the bathroom, you didn't know what I did in there. I just blew it up. Vegan style. Vegan style. It doesn't stink. Yep. You know why your bathroom stink? Because I guess the meat rotted in your intestines. I know, like, wow, man, why are you gonna say that? But no, it doesn't stink. 90% of the time, it's not gonna stink. A 10% chance, you might get some smell, but no, it doesn't. What's this? Somebody's commenting. I'm sorry. Let me see what y'all saying. Chickpeas are the best beans to eat. Yes, I eat a lot of chickpeas. The average person has malnutrition deficiency. I believe that. The average person have malnutrition deficiency. And you're not eating enough nutritious foods. You're not eating the right foods. You're eating foods that are dead, that contribute to nothing. What's that? Death begins in the colon. 80% of the immune system is in the intestine tract. The gut is the second. It never lets me finish reading it. Oh. The gut is the second brain as well. Okay. I can believe that. They're taking vitamins and minerals out of the foods. Okay, I don't know if they intentionally taking it out. Maybe they could be. I'll put nothing past them. They definitely, the way that they process and cook it and stuff like that, it destroys it. So I got to begin to learn about certain things, because I just heard something about maybe the banana. Certain things has the most vitamins in the cooking, in the shell, in the outer part too. So we got to learn how to use those things. And like the lemon, how they take the lemon and they do that, they use that for food consumption, the zest and stuff like that, right? So I'm saying that to say that certain outer shells of certain things that we discard, we got to learn the, what do you say it? The potency, or how to incorporate those things, how to use that stuff too. Because they'll have you throwing away, stuff that can help you. Okay, what did you say?
No, I was saying like the onion peel. Like I'll be on YouTube kind of researching that, and everything you said is absolutely correct. The banana, the lemon, and also the onion peel. Like onion is like natural penicillin. The peel, all that. I'm talking about.
Okay. Somebody said they make they made bananas sterile. So just do your research. Watermelon rhymes are good. Yeah, I heard something about watermelon rhymes.
I was just telling them what
Yeah, I heard something. I forgot what it was though. But I heard something about watermelon rhymes. Some take pleasure in it, some don't. Watermelon rhymes are good for blood flow. Yeah. I like watermelon rhymes. The older we get, it's good for blood flow. And the reason is because when you begin to slow down, your blood is not, flowing through your body the way that it should be. So that's it, Israel. We gotta go. Okay. Matthew 26. Y'all, God bless y'all. Most High Christ bless y'all. Thanks for the conversation. Y'all share the video. And we're gonna eat some food. It'd be nice if each and every last one of y'all was here for some supper and some communion. Call the brother the communion man. Yeah. Find a picture and send it to me. I know that there are some bananas that do have those seeds in it, so. Shalom, sis. Matthew chapter 26 and 6. Says, now when Yahushua was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box, a very precious ointment, and she poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Yahushua, whom the word calls Jesus, understood it, he said unto them, why trouble you the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For you have the poor always with you, but me you have not always. When thou shalt pour this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman have done be told for memorial of her. So all praises to the Most High for giving us to the Spirit to come forth and keep the commandments of the Lord, and give Christ some comfort for his burial, and also bringing forth a beautiful example of a broken and contrite heart, which the Lord said, something like that, he will not despise. Okay, so now the Lord's communion, 1 Corinthians 11 and 23. All right, all praises. Undelayed, brother, undelayed. For I received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that of Mashiach Yahushua, whom the world calls Lord Jesus, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, take, eat. This is my body which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. So Yahushua said, so he actually commanded us to do this. He said, this do it in remembrance of him. Okay? After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. So often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you do show the Lord's death till he comes. And you're going to show the life that he lived, that he died doing, man. And that's what this communion is basically about. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. Man, unworthily meaning you shouldn't even be doing it, because you're not worthy enough to be called not at the time a disciple of Christ. Not at the time. These actions, because the disciple of Christ is not gonna be doing some bugged out stuff, man. You know, envying and hating one another. The disciple of Christ ain't gonna do that. Okay. So, but let a man examine himself, so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. So once we self-examine ourselves, because the next person, the person, nobody else can examine you. Nobody can say, well, hey, don't take the communion. I advise you don't take it. You know, what if you're really trying? But if you're not, and you know you're not, then don't do it. The reason is because there's a judgment behind it. And the judgment you shall pay. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh what? Damnation to himself. What is damnation? Judgment. The Lord going to bring a judgment. Not discerning the Lord's body. That is not the body. That is not Christ's body. That's the assembly. Because when people see you do something, you are teaching them to do it. And this is a high calling. You have to actually qualify for this communion. But you got to make sure. But you got to be like, I'm ready. Nobody can say, oh, I think you're ready. You don't say, you can't say that to the person got to vouch and say, yo, I'm ready. I've seen people just wave it off. Be like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. This is something that where you got to have a high regard for, man. You see this line up here? You ought to be like, okay, man, I want to be not in sin, but I want to be up there. I want to have respect for this thing because this is an allegiance that I'm not playing with. That's why it says, for he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, playing around, you're going to bring a judgment upon yourself, not discerning the Lord's body. And for this cause, many are weak, sickly, among you many sleep. So you have that weak spirit for playing around, you keep sinning. You don't have a strong spirit. Sickly, Father put sicknesses on you, you can't recover from it. And then he says, many do what? Many sleep. What is sleep? Two forms of sleep. You'll drift right on back to sleep. Whenever we sleep, we do what? You dream. You dream. But what do you dream of? Do you notice? You're dreaming of sin. I dreamed I did this. I dreamed I did that. So now, in the real world, you sleep, you dream, some form of sin is involved. In Christ, the Lord allowed you to go back to sleep because first of all, you were awake out of sleep. So if he allowed you to go back to sleep, are you going to be literally on your bed dreaming of sin? No. You're going to be in this world committing sin. You're going to go right back to sleep. And if you go back to sleep, what's going to end up happening? You're going to get judged to death. So what are you supposed to do? Right. You're supposed to turn it down. You're supposed to say no. And you're not supposed to be embarrassed to say no. Because brothers and sisters are being taught not to look at you no type of way because you decided to wave off and say, no, I'm not ready. I don't want to do that. Do everybody understand? Have anybody ever, have anybody ever seen somebody else laugh at somebody that waved communion or spoke to you about somebody that, or murmured to you that, hey, they didn't take communion? Why you think they didn't take? What do you think they do? Have anybody in here ever experienced that? No, because like we're doing now, we always do it. We always teach that that's not what you do. Right here it says, let a man examine himself. That's 28. So he got to examine himself. He don't need anybody to examine him. That part he got. The Lord say that's when he got to do that. So you're not examine him and say he in sin, so he shouldn't take communion. You in sin, brother. No. This one here is the only time you're going to make that decision alone by yourself. And you better make the right decision. Because if you make the decision to eat and you recklessly not really concerned, not really discerning, not trying to separate, because this is the body, this assembly make up the body of Yahushua the Christ. So you're supposed to make a difference outside of the body of Christ. And if you're concerned about how you look by not taking the communion, which the body of Christ is being instructed and taught how to look at you with no judgment, no convicting, no nothing, you're going to feel some type of way. So if you feel some type of way, when you get tired of feeling some type of way, that means you're going to put that sin down so that then you can start participating without self-convicting yourself, because who examined you? Say self. Self. You examined yourself. You convicted yourself. And then you came back when you were ready. I see people do it all the time. I see people do it all the time. They come and they go. When I say they come and they go, meaning they do it, they get themselves together, and then they realize, and then they feel like, you know what? I'm glad I did that, because that's something that I'm supposed to respect. You're supposed to respect the Lord's body. Yeah, you're supposed to respect the Lord's body. Not just, I'm going to do anything. No, you can't do anything. Because this is separate from wickedness. You want this? Be all in. It's my job to explain this to you. Because just reading at face value, you ain't going to pick up on this. You're not going to tell yourself that. You're going to deceive yourself. Okay? So now, finishing up 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and 31. For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. How do you judge yourself? By stopping. Stopping. Stop sinning. And the Lord said he won't have to judge you. But if he got to, but when we are judged, we're chastened. Or say, okay, you're going to do it, you're going to keep doing it until I stop you, I'm going to charge you. And that's what all of this stuff is about. Car crashes, death, you getting tickets. We had the diseases up there. You get diseases. You're getting jacked up. Because you didn't judge yourself, and he had to bring this. A lot of times, you go out and you commit these sins and nothing happens. The scripture said, because judgment is not speedily, a sentence is not speedily executed. Therefore, the hearts and the sons of man are fully setting them to do evil. You say, oh, ain't nothing happened to me. Ain't nothing happened to me. So because nothing happened, you're like, hey, I guess I can keep doing it. Yeah, until them bumps show up on your private parts. Then you realize, damn, I got rejected. Then you want to blame him. He gave me something. Yeah. He did. Who allowed it to happen? The Most High. Why? Because you didn't listen to him. You didn't listen to his servants and prophets. I tore my car up. Why'd you tear your car up? You didn't listen. Scriptures tell you, obey the powers that be. What's the limit for drinking and driving? 0.05. I don't even drink and I know that. Or is it 08? I thought I knew. I think it's 08. To be 100. I think it's 08. But if you're going to drink, you should just be at home. I'm not going back out. I had a glass. Look at me getting all laid back. Had a glass. I'm not going nowhere. You want another glass of wine? That's your house. That's you. I'm not another glass of wine. You're sitting up, watching TV, correcting your children, talking to the wife, chopping it up with brothers on the phone. What's up, Ak? All right, brother, talk to you tomorrow. Okay. Brothers think it's cool. I'm right around in the street with this much Hennessy in a cup. What? What is that? You asking for trouble. You riding around with a cup, pulling over at the liquor store. Give me 3 cups of ice. Everybody in the car drinking. You gonna get away with that for so long until the Father have the right one to cross your path. And then you're gonna be cussing and fussing, man. If you don't turn it up, they're gonna take it from you. They're gonna take you to jail. Now you lose your license. Nobody wants to insure you. All over what? A $12 bottle of booze. See, Israel, some people just don't think, man. Why would you let a $12 bottle of booze cause all this havoc to you? You don't think. It's not smart, man. You gotta be smart. So, but when we are judged, we get chastened. You get chastened. He'll catch you. That we should not be condemned with the world. He said, I'm going to do it to stop you, to keep from having to kill you. All right. Most high in the name of Christ, thank you for the food and drink. Amen. This is body which is broken for you. This is blood. Israel, we do this live so that you can see, a picture says 1,000 words. You can line this up with the scriptures. All repentant Israelites should be communion. Okay? All right, that's it. We will stand and face Jerusalem. Praises. Israel, stay around for the prayers. The Lord's Prayer, Matthew 6 and 9. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors to us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
The laborer's prayer, Luke 10 and 2. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the labors are few. Pray therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth labors into his harvest. Bless you, Most High, King of heaven and earth, and all things, Most High, in the name of the Christ. Send more disciples and teachers to your harvest to gather the people of Israel. Send counsel behind your laws to stand before the people of Israel. Give to us strength to break down our lives with that word. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
The blessed of Israel, Numbers chapter 6 and 24. Children of Israel, the Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord makes his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord take the countenance upon thee and give thee peace. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Dear Heavenly Father, Abba Nabi Yahweh Ba'Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai, giving all praises to you, Heavenly Father, for bringing us together once again. We ask you, Lord, to continue to put thy spirit in us, that we can show up day in and day out to keep the feast of tabernacles. We ask you, Lord, to fill it with peace, joy, brotherly and sisterly love, and the unity of the Spirit, endeavoring to keep the spirit of truth and faith. We like to give thanks for the food and for the drink. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
May children of Israel bless one another.
Most High, in the name of Christ, bless you all.
Yes, sir. I think it changed. That's all.
I'll just check.
All right. All right, Israel. Shalom.